International Speedway than Dale Earnhardt.
Let me tell you something. That wasn't all that bad a move. We'll have to see how it plays out. But I think Tony Stewart was feeling like he might not be in a good position leading this thing on the last lap.
Darrell, they are running that high side of that racetrack.
And don't count out Rusty Wallace. He's kind of snuck his way back up to the front pack there, the 98 winner of the shootout.
I think Tony Stewart thought better of leading on the last lap. I think he wanted to get Earnhardt shook out and see what he could do with it.
Look at Tony Stewart, no help. And he goes by Earnhardt on the bottom side going into turn 3 and 4.
I'm not so sure they didn't touch because Earnhardt really took off up the hill. White flag.
A Pontiac has never won this race. Stewart leads the bell lap in a Pontiac. Here comes Earnhardt, Wallace, Jeff Burton, and Gordon to the inside.
Let me tell you what, Tony Stewart is doing some good mirror driving right now.
Look at the run. Dale Jarrett gets there behind Jeff Gordon on the bottom side of the racetrack.
Boys, the race is just getting ready to start. Hang on to your helmet.
Where do you swerve?
Well, nowhere yet. All right, now go, now go, now go.
This is it. Down to turn 3, final time.
If he doesn't get him here, he doesn't get him.
3 wide going into turn 3. Dale Jarrett pulling Bobby Labonte along with him. He's up to 4th.
But it's not for the big money. Tony Stewart, the Rushville, Indiana Rocket, leads him off the corner. Earnhardt may have one last chance.
It's over.
Tony Stewart wins the Budweiser shootout over Dale Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace.
That was a fun race to watch.
How many lead changes do you suppose we had? I won't talk about it at the start-finish line, but on the entire race.
But there's no help out there. Can he do anything? He looks like he might have a run. He's going for it on the outside.
Fred will go with it now. Gordon for third as they come to the white flag.
Got the momentum up top, slowing on the bottom to 41.
Last lap of the Budweiser shootout. Earnhardt Jr. fell back off of Stewart a little bit. Does he have the momentum now? Trying to force Stewart up off the bottom.
Ford's got to run.
Cannot make it happen. Is Jeff Gordon going with him? No, Gordon's going to the outside with Schrader.
Gordon getting the push. Moves to second. Junior digging back down low. Stewart's loving this in his rearview mirror. While they fight for second, that could be the gap Tony Stewart needs to win the race. Here they come, final sprint to the checkered flag. Stewart's going to do it 2 years in a row. Tony Stewart wins the Budweiser shootout. Earnhardt Jr. edging Jeff Gordon for second.
I think that Tony Stewart, when he looked in the mirror and saw what was happening for second spot, he moved over and helped Junior get the spot because Junior had run behind him for so long and helped him stay up there.
Well, not only that, but I think Gordon had a run, and he was going to try to break that run because he had some momentum coming.
So Stewart has the lead with one more lap to go. Sam Hornish is running second. Scott Sharp is in third position. And that's Jack Sprague up there in fourth, battling with Al Unser Jr., who suddenly finds himself not in the lead of this race, but in fifth position. Is Tony Stewart going to be able to hold on to the lead for the next half lap?
We'll see if Sam Hornish can do the same thing that Al Unser Jr. had done to him. He just wants to see if he gets underneath there and makes a good run and leads through and 3 and 4.
Tony Stewart's best finish in IROC here prior to today was second in 2000. He started second, finished second. Let's see how things shake out as they come off the banking and head for the checkered flag. Stewart and Hornish and Sharp, but they come down. There will be no move, and Tony Stewart wins round 1 of True Value IROC 26, holding off strong challenges by some Indy Racing League drivers. Sam Hornish second after crashing on the first lap. Scott Sharp finishes third, then Jack Sprague fourth, and Al Unser Jr., who led for most of this race. He led 24.
You can believe one thing, he didn't have to worry about that 21 car.
No, Harvick will get owner points and money.
One back. Coming to the white.
Car single file. Casey Kane leading the outside line.
Here we go, boys. Money lap coming up.
1 to go.
Oh, here you go. Round they go.
Big bright flag. around goes John Wood, the 20 of Denny Hamlin, and the 0 of Curtis Davis. The question will be, did the yellow come out before Tony Stewart took the white flag? If it did, they will go to the...
Let's come around and see what happens here. Hold on.
They'll go to the scoring loops across the racetrack, and we'll have a green-white checker
I'm telling you, I took the white
restart.
flag. You never do the yellow until afterwards.
Well,
Copy that. That's what I saw. Let's see what happens here.
You heard Tony's view of it.
The key is not the flagman, it's the caution lights. That's what they go off of.
When do the lights come on? If Stewart had passed under the white flag, it's the race.
Everybody be cool now. Let's just wait and see what happens here.
That's good advice. We'll wait for NASCAR to sort this out as to whether or not it's over or we have a green-white checker finish.
Well, let's take a look at it and see what happened here. This is back in the pack. Cars get a little loose, start bouncing off each other.
John Wood in the 47.
Curtis Davis.
That's pretty much at pit road entrance. That tells me that Tony had to be at the line. I don't know if he was passed or not.
Checkered flag has waved for Tony Stewart. He and Kevin Harvick drafted together to the front to win.
Off of 2, down the backstretch.
Just doesn't seem like Jamie McMurray can get up there close enough. Earnhardt seems to get a run, especially off the trioval on the straightaway. He gets right on the back of the 42 going into 1. But just doesn't have enough help from Rusty.
I looked out the hotel window this morning at 7:30. There were already fans walking around the Daytona International Speedway. The race delayed 2.5 hours. But the fans have stayed here. Now at 1:40 in the morning, white flag for Tony Stewart. Last lap. This would be it no matter what happens.
Just not close enough to get anything done. No.
Jimmy Johnson is trying to get by Dale Jarrett on the outside.
Yeah, that 20 car will get awfully wide from this point on.
Half a lap for Tony Stewart. One on the road course a week ago at Sonoma. Picked up emotion and momentum, pursuing his second Nextel Cup championship. Tony Stewart, a native of Indiana, has always wanted to win in Indianapolis, but tonight he's going to shut out the field, and Tony Stewart takes the checkered flag at Daytona. Jr. and a top 10 for Jeff Gordon. They will take those. Now what's Lamar going to do?
Oh, he's got to stay behind 33. Oh, yeah. He's got to push Tony Stewart to victory lane if he can.
That would make Mrs. Harvick happy, right?
Here comes Boyer on the outside.
Coming to get the white flag. Last lap at Daytona.
And Elliott Sadler's a 90 car. All of his problems, there he is, trying to win on the last lap.
Got the lucky dog 3 times today, I believe.
What a nice spot that lap.
I can't believe it make it back start finish line like this.
Down the backstretch for the final time. Half a lap to go. Stewart leads. Lamar, the rookie, second.
Get him. There you go. Come on.
Boyer inside of Lamar.
They're down there with you. Come on. Come on.
Don't think he's got enough time. Mike Dillon trying to urge his driver to the line.
Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go.
Stacey Compton into the wall. Michael Waltrip is around.
Denny Hamlin hard into Elliott Sadler.
Stewart takes the checkers. The caution, obviously, another hard hit.
It's definitely something.
You were right.
White is going to be the flag that's displayed this time by.
Well, about 3.5 more miles, about 15 more shifts, 1 lap around this course.
You know, it was a year ago during the Crown Royal Legends of IROC that we talked with Mario Andretti and Jay Signori and the other IROC folks about, hey, how about a road race? And Mario thought, of course, that would be just a fantastic idea to even things up. And the more everybody talked about it, the more it seemed like a great idea. So here we are at Daytona. Now, this February in Daytona, at driver introductions, it was Tony Stewart who said, hey, how about a dirt track race? And he'll loan you the dirt track. Oh, Mark Martin.
Yeah, his woes continue. He's off course one more time.
Yeah, right now he's in the 9th position as we talk. A make-or-break race for Mark Martin tonight.
So you never know what we might see in the future for Crown Royal IROC.
And Tony has just the dirt track race that he'd love to see one at.
Right now, he's got a mirror full of Max Pappas as they go up on the banking for the final time. Stewart and Pappas are the only drivers to lead tonight.
What a night for Tony Stewart.
And Sam Hornish gives up 3rd place, slowing in turn 2. He's back to, well, 5th. That was Brian Newman going by, and see if Hornish can hang on and get a finish here. Scott Sharp has gone by, yep, for 4th.
Now Hornish has a little bit of cushion behind him now, trying to hang on to this top 5 finish.
Tony Stewart looking for his 4th IROC victory. If there's a form of racing Stewart can't master, we haven't seen it. IRL champion, Rolex 24 Hours, NASCAR Nextel Cup champion, and a winner again in Crown Royal IROC.
Back-to-back wins, one at Texas, now he wins here.
How impressive was it, Larry? In less than 2 laps, he charged through the field and was a contender for the lead.
But remember, he will leave here with a points lead, so at Atlanta, guess where he'll have to start? Dead last again.
Max Pappas led 3 laps. He's the runner-up tonight. Brian Newman 3rd, Scott Sharp, Sam Hornish. And at the start-finish line, Max Angelelli edged Frank Kimmel for 7th place. Tony Stewart will head for victory lane in a minute.
I was going to tell you, if you want to talk about no fear, that kid back there in 3rd, Kyle Busch in that 5, and he has 4 fresh tires too, and he is hungry to win a race. It's going to get exciting. Remember what I always tell you? You better reach up there and pull those belt tightens one more time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Casey Mears 4th, Kurt Busch 5th, Jamie McMurray 6th. They will green flag this race with 3 laps to go. Now, they were telling Morris said that Tony Stewart was laying back. I don't know. Stewart's got to go a ways to catch Morris said now.
That's going to be borderline on that 38 car. He was definitely below the yellow line.
He was below the yellow line. He would like to give that spot back, Larry, but he can't.
No, they're breathing down his neck.
Boris said comes off turn 2 with a big lead. But that's not good.
If somebody jumps out, here you go. This is what's good right here. If these guys behind you will start racing.
But I guarantee you, Tony Stewart in that 20 car, he knows he can't get far off the bottom, but he's going to have to go to the top if he wants to go around Boris said. Boris puts a block on him. There comes Kyle Busch in the 5 to the bottom. He's going to push Boris.
2 laps to go.
Now here's where Boris might be a little bit nervous.
Said and Stewart side by side. Stewart has help.
2 to go.
How would you like to be at least to turn it off into the infield right down there, but you're running 190 mile an hour and you can't?
Said slips to 3rd. The glass slipper almost fit.
Listen, he has got his hands full. There's no question about that. That car, we know, it's all over the place.
But here comes Kyle Busch's brother, Kurt Busch, up there to push his brother, the 5 car, Kyle.
Watch Boris's car. He just wants to wheel his walk up the racetrack with him. He's just chasing it. He doesn't need anybody up behind him.
The blood is thicker than water, but most brothers in racing would rather beat their own brother than anybody else. How about the Busch brothers?
Well, we're going to find out here, boys. It's 1 to go, and the Busch boys are in hot pursuit.
And here comes Matt Kenseth in that 17 car on the high side. He's getting help from his teammate McMurray in the 26.
Kenseth has never won here, but he's taking the long way around on the outside.
Now just remember, it gets really tense coming down the back right here. You start blocking.
In turn 3. Caution is out.
Caution is out. Will we go to overtime or will the checkered flag wave?
That's it. We were in a white flag lap.
We took the white flag. We took the white flag.
The field is frozen at the moment of caution. The yellow flag waves as they come toward the finish line. Tony Stewart And the Home Depot Chevrolet will score the second win of 2006 and the 26th career victory for Stewart.
But I'm going to tell you what, regardless of the circumstances, the caution laps that were there, the race ended under caution, how about Boris said? Sat on the pole, a top 5 finish, and a great call by Frank Stoddard, his crew chief.
Wasn't it Frank Stoddard that made him write a new rule in the All-Star race?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that when he pitted and just crossed the line and took the lead?
Well, we know what Tony Stewart in the 20 car is going to do for 5 more miles. He's going to hug that yellow line right there.
Boy, I tell you, Gillen is really closing up. He loses a little ground off of 2 right there. Car's probably a little tight. If he can get some help from behind, he might be able to make a run down the back going into 3.
And that's the big question. Will that number 2 of Kurt Busch help him or go his own way?
That's dictated by what kind of run he has. If he's got a passing run, Kurt might go with him. If he's just got to get out there and get hung run, he's going to get hung out to dry.
1 lap to go. Somebody is about to win at least $215,000.
Kurt Busch keeps peeking around back there in that 2 car.
You got to get closer together than that.
Dale Earnhardt won this race a record 6 times. Jeff Gordon, 3-time winner. Nobody else has won more than 2. Excuse me, Dale Jarrett's a 3-time winner. Nobody else has banked more than 2. Tony Stewart could win his 3rd right here. Here they come for the flag.
Whoa.
Big crash.
Denny Hamlin involved.
Stewart, Gilliland, Busch, the finish. Tony Stewart wins his 3rd Budweiser shootout as Elliott Sadler and Denny Hamlin come across the line in a shower of sparks.
Last year's winner in the infield wrecked on the last lap.
Within about 200 yards of the start-finish line.
See, I think I've seen Everhand cars torn up more the last couple of laps of races than anybody cars I can remember.
And Kyle Busch, who led the most laps, has to be satisfied with 7th.
Nice job, Tony.
And the past champion of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series going to have to get up on the wheel. He has been in a qualified spot for part of this race. He's got 2 laps to get back there.
It will be a single file restart, and as you said, 1 attempt at this green-white checker.
Tony Stewart won the Budweiser shootout, trying to go to victory lane in the duel. He and Dale Jr. lead the field with 2 to go.
Either Jeff Burton in the 31 did not get a good restart, or he purposely lagged back just a little bit. Got David Gilliland in the 38 pushing him.
I believe Junior and Tony will be pretty happy to just ride this one on home.
James Hilton back at 20th spot.
I wouldn't leave the bottom open like that, though, for those 2 Childress cars. And for David Gilliland back there as well. That's a pretty potent combination, actually, the 31 to 38. They could get a nice run here.
They have definitely been 2 of the stronger cars.
Tony Stewart, though, finding the short way around right on the bottom.
Well, boys, I'd say 1 to go. This is where desperation will set in for some of these guys. They know they only have 1 more shot to get it done. White flag.
Tell you one thing, Johnny Sauter is working over the back bumper of Dale Jarrett. Actually, it's
Boris said,
I'm sorry.
Said in the 60, Sauter in the 70. They're both in on time. Here comes Bliss in the 49. Bliss has to pass them both to make the 500.
Getting a little help back there from Greg Biffle in the 16 car.
Michael's in pretty good shape. He's got his buddy Kenny Schrader right behind him.
And Dale Jr. cannot advance on the leader. Here comes Bliss. He could do it. He's past Sauter.
Man, we might be all right here.
He's alongside Said. Here they come to the line.
It's going to be close. It's going to be real close.
Stewart's going to win it. Waltrip is in. Said may have eclipsed Bliss by a nose.
He just couldn't quite get there. Almost. He needed about another 100 yards.
Just a little over 1/100th of a second.
Redemption for Michael Waltrip. And for Mike Bliss, we'll look at the pictures when it appears.
Well, Kyle Busch did anyway, and that was a great block for Kyle Busch. If he hadn't thrown that block, he wouldn't have a shot at it. Yeah, that's right.
Now that was a block. That wasn't protecting your position.
That was the block. Yeah. Okay. Which is legal in this form of motorsport. White flag.
1 lap to go. Tony Stewart, can he hang on?
Well, he's going to be in good shape now because Martin Truex just went to the inside of Kyle Busch. And that's the best thing Tony Stewart could see in his mirror as these guys get side by side. And left. Yeah, he's almost got too big of a lead there. They got a run coming down this backstretch.
Vickers, remember how much he can do, what he can do if he gets a little momentum. There's Vickers trying to find a way down to the inside, but he's got no one to help him down there.
Well, that car sat on the pole for a reason. It's because it was the fastest one here. They're going to have a really hard time because they're really not willing to work. Everybody's trying to get every spot they possibly can.
A couple of Toyotas and a Chevrolet. Earnhardt Jr. back in third spot. Tony Stewart trying to hang on. Tony Stewart, the pole sitter, will come down and win the season opener at Daytona.
You are the best at this track.
It's awful strong out front. They're going to have a hard time even ganging up and passing that car.
I think they're going to make a run at him here, though.
See Kyle Busch trying to get to his bumper. He's trying to loosen Tony Stewart up as much as he can.
2 to go this time.
Here they go, coming to the white flag.
Tony Stewart has won 3 of the last 4 at Daytona. Can he hold off his former teammate Kyle Busch? Carl Edwards is hungry behind him, and Clint Boyer, the champ, in 4th spot.
Tony's smart enough. He knows he can't get too far away from those guys, so they'll get a big run on him, and then he won't be able to hold them off.
Right here, it's going to happen. If it's going to happen right here, it'll do it on the straightaway. You see the guys just lining up behind him.
He's obviously guarding the inside. If they're going to pass him, it's going to have to be to the high side. You can see Carl Edwards is just not right there.
He's going to loosen him up. Getting in the corner right here. He's going to loosen his butt up.
Kyle Busch
got him loose.
Gives him the shove and comes on the inside. Tony is digging back on the outside.
Oh, wow.
What a job, Tony Stewart there to hold the lead.
Here comes Carl Edwards to the outside of Kyle Busch. He's going to be in second. He's got to run.
Tony Stewart will come down and win it. Wow. Stewart, Edwards, Boyer, Kyle Busch, and Biffle. So
front. Stewart back on the inside one more time. Getting ready for the restart.
You're going to see some hammering on bumpers here in a minute. Already you're seeing it. Look at them. They're already pushing each other.
Here we go. The green flag is in the air. 4 laps remaining.
I like these double file restarts, man. Especially like this. 4 or 5 laps to go.
And there's 4 strong. Oh, wow. Jimmy Johnson dumped the 11. I did not expect
that. He just left him. Well, Hamlin's going to slide down in there.
But it's almost like with these cars, once you pull down behind the car, you don't go anywhere, but the car in front of you, he doesn't go anywhere either. Both cars just fell in line.
Boy, it's ugly right there. You see a lot, like I said, a lot of bumper tag right now. You got to give it everything you got. You got 4 laps to go. It's everything. Either get a good finish or bring back the steering wheel.
And how many times have we seen nothing come back but the steering wheel here?
Yeah,
especially here at this place.
Now Kyle pulls out and Hamlin goes with him, but they gotta time it right.
Yeah.
But if the 18 pulls out and the 11 goes, there's a shot at getting by Tony. Tony's car is awfully strong, but he's gonna need everybody to line up against him.
And you're going to need to pick your time to do that as well.
I'd be doing it right now. I wouldn't be waiting for that last lap stuff doesn't work anymore.
That last lap stuff is great for Talladega Nights. Okay, it's not great for right here. Let me say, you want to get in front and block. Is what you want to do, and especially when you've got a teammate, you want to get in front and put it down to the 11 and the 18 and let those guys race. And I'm telling you what, there's nobody There's not many people, I'll say that,
as
good or better than Tony Stewart in the last 5 or 6 laps of the race.
And the thing is, you got to do it now, Kyle, because there may be a wreck.
There may be a wreck.
And it may take you 2 or 3 laps to work on that leader. These guys need to be doing it now.
That wreck was almost Montoya. He was completely sideways coming off the corner. He saved it again. Busy night for Juan Pablo Montoya as he still runs up inside the top 10 after all he's been through tonight in that 42.
I'm
2 to go.
The guys running 6th and 7th have torn up race cars. You know what I mean? I mean, they've been in accidents, but they have driven the wheels off of them, Kurt Busch and Juan Montoya, to keep these cars in contention.
The only ones not with any damage are the ones at the very front of this pack. But we're not done as we're coming around, getting ready for the white flag.
31 at Burt Carl.
Here they come, to the outside. Here comes Kyle Busch. He's got him, and Tony cuts off him.
Now what's Tony going to do?
You're clear.
And now the question is, Tony's got no help because these guys are running too wide behind him.
Right.
So now it's man on man right now.
Oh, I don't think it's gonna get wider here in a minute, I believe.
Here comes Johnson in behind Stewart. Is it enough? Hamlin's high side up there by himself in the 11. First lap led all night by Kyle Busch, and it's the money lap, and it might be all it takes.
It really
now, what does Johnson do to help Stewart?
Doesn't matter. Kyle Busch is going to hog all the racetrack, or he should. He's mirror driving right now.
Tony Stewart trying to get to the bottom.
He may get turned for mirror driving, but he's going to be mirror driving.
Stewart's trying to squeeze in there.
See that hand?
Shoving to the bottom.
See that
He
hand?
just wanted to touch him, man. Just wanted to touch him.
Can't get him to the high side. Here he comes.
There
There
he turns him. He turns him.
Busch in the
Oh,
wall.
my God.
Here comes Stewart to the checkered
Tony
flag.
Stewart.
And another car gets in the backside. It's Casey Kane. And they're scattering everywhere as they come to the line.
Some of these guys hit hard, man.
And one of them was Kyle Busch.
They're still hitting hard. Man, that's an ugly finish. But incredible. Incredible.
But that was 100% mirror driving, and that's what you have. That's what Kyle Busch had to do.
That's what Kyle Busch had to mirror drive. Tony Stewart had to put the car there and stick the car where. We saw this same thing in Talladega when with the 09 car with Keselowski. He stuck his car in there, he drove it, he put it where it needed to be, and that's the way it was.
Look at the damage to his race car as Kyle Busch crawls out and walks.
Mix as well. He finds himself in that 3rd position, and now these 3 cars, they could pull away from these guys.
Well, they got 1 lap coming up here, coming to the white flag.
Who wins this race? White flag is out here at Daytona.
White flag here.
2.5 miles.
Will Justin Allgaier pull out, and will Carl Edwards go with him?
Does Tony Stewart win for the 5th time in 6 years? Does Justin Allgaier get his first ever nationwide series win? And does Carl win for the first time here at Daytona?
Yeah, you see Carl back up, trying to get Paul Menard to give him a push here. He's going to try to go to the outside of Justin Allgaier.
Somebody's got to get up there to give some help because Tony's trying to pull away.
Allgaier makes the block on Carl Edwards. He's trying to get that push to go by Tony Stewart. They have the momentum.
Allgaier's got the run on the high side. Does he get any help? Not right now. Now he's going to look low.
Here comes
Meanwhile, going to crash. Kyle Busch, the 22 of Keselowski. While they spin, coming down the front straightaway, it's going to be all Tony Stewart.
Checker flag is waving.
Kevin Harvick trying to duck underneath. Who gets second behind Stewart? It is Edwards. Harvick 3rd. Allgaier 4th.
But it looks like they may get shuffled a little bit. I've got a question why they would make that change with just 2 laps to go. I would let it blow water out. If it got hot, so be it. I was really wondering if Tony Stewart was going to push someone else by his teammate up there with Kevin Harvick incorporated.
Well, they've dropped back because the Joe Gibbs pair, Logano and Busch, have gotten around them. How about 10th and 11th through 12th? That's Michael Waltrip right along with Casey Kane. Then the 2 Fords back to the battle up front. White flag is out. Here we go. Who's going to win it at Daytona?
We see Reed.
Look out!
Okay,
Logano into the wall. He caroms off. Everybody else gets by. He'll go back into the wall. The white flag's still out. No caution on the racetrack.
Racing that into turn 3. Junior's right on the bumper. Clint Boyer.
Does he make history? Dale Earnhardt Jr. or does Clint Boyer win? And here comes Tony Stewart. He's getting the push from Castle. Coming out of 4. This is really going to be close.
Here goes Junior to the inside.
Junior to the inside. Boyer takes the lead and pulls up and at the stripe. It's Boyer.
Stewart.
I thought it was Tony Stewart does it. Wow. Holy God.
Oh, they're saying Boyer's the winner. That was too close to call.
I thought so too, and then the scoring monitor came up and said Stewart. It looked like Boyer had it, and NASCAR is saying it is Clint Boyer.
Well, Tony Stewart doesn't know that.
Now we're holding 4. Nope, it is official.
Now Tony Stewart.
But he hung on to it.
And there goes Junior, and Junior just pushed Carl Edwards and he to the lead, but then he dropped in. He got by Carl Edwards in the 99. I think he was hoping to pick up Tony Stewart in the 14, but Carl closed the door. Now here comes the 14 and Stewart up the outside.
Fast freight on the outside track. Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, Jamie McMurray. On the outside, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Carl Edwards on the inside. White flag this time by.
That McMurray car was good here in the Bud Shootout the other night. He's right up there again today.
They'll be getting the white flag. A lot of drivers a little unsure. Can they make it the distance?
Burton slices top to bottom, passes 3 cars and lines up third for this final lap.
Tony Stewart sitting out there right now. That is not a good place to be. He's a setting duck. They're going to come by him like he put on the brakes.
Yeah, watch the run these drivers get that are lined up. Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. right there in the 88. Watch Burton.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, hard in the wall. And she's all right after a hard crash, and the caution flag is out.
The race is over. That's Tony Stewart will win the race. God, we got that camera in there with Danica and see she's fine.
Checkered flag. Tony Stewart leads Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Marcus Ambrose across the line. But they got stacked 4 wide coming out of turn number 2. Danica was on the inside, and when all that contact was made, she was the one that ended up going for the wild ride.
And she done such a nice job.
Matt Kenseth on the inside lane. He's led 88 laps tonight. And Greg Biffle right behind him. 4 last lap passes for the win in the last 11 races here at Daytona. We'll see if we get one. Tony Stewart, no stranger to success at this track. He's won 3 of the last 7 summer races. Pace car is off. We're going green, and we're going to settle it at the world center of racing. Casey Kane giving a nice push to Tony Stewart in that outside lane.
This is Hendrick against Roush right here.
Yes, it is.
Ford and Chevy.
Got the RCR guys behind him. That's Burton and Harvick hooked up right behind the Roush guys on the inside lane.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they drop to the outside and make it 3 wide.
Yeah, and 2 to go. Nobody's looking at a single gauge in these cars.
No.
Man, nice run down the back straightaway on the inside for those Roush guys.
And that yellow helped a lot.
Yes.
With the 3 laps to go. They got the temperatures down.
So here's your tandem racing for everybody at home right now. This is what it was last year.
Coming down through the tri-oval. Once we get the white flag, the next flag will end it, whether it's the caution or the checker. And side by side with a lap to go at Daytona.
And these guys are going to run. They're going to be leaning on each other going down the backstretch.
Oh my God!
We got somebody sideways. Wow, Burton did an unbelievable job saving that race car.
Amazing save by Jeff Burton.
Now we got the 14 out there all by himself, but he got a big push to get away from those guys.
Tony Stewart pulling down in front of Matt Kenseth. And Kane with a little charge in the outside lane.
That's the break that Tony needed right there.
This is going to be. They're
stacking up. They're stacking up.
Through turns 3 and 4
here we go.
The final time.
Biffle.
Big crash behind the race leader, Tony Stewart. That's going to allow smoke to pull away. What's going to happen behind him? Can Burton get there? No, he can't. Tony Stewart wins it at Daytona.
Oh, we'll take that.
Great finish.
From 42nd to the win.
Great move by Jeff Burton right there. I tell you,
That was a
great race by
save.
Jeff Burton. I'm telling you, incredible save and incredible job to put him in position. And you know, Matt's just where he's got to be, but Casey Kane deserves a lot of credit for that too, pushing that 14 and getting him in the right position.
Did you see the water spitting out of that thing, man? I mean, he
Straight
sacrificed his engine right there.
We told you.
Behind them, Allgaier, Bowman, Pastrana, And by the way, Trevor Bayne is back on the racetrack in that 6-car many laps down. Will he be the one that gets up there and drafts with Pastrana and changes his outcome around? 2 laps to go.
Green, green, green.
Any time right here now to worry about teammates. It's just a matter of who you can get with, get yourself in a position to win the race now.
Yeah, all you see there was the speedy drive they put down for the crash.
99, Alex Bowman. 77, Parker Kligerman. 2 of the young drivers. Bowman only 19 years old, racing for the win, coming to the white flag.
How about Kyle Larson with Dale Jr. on his bumper? That might give him an opportunity.
32 and 88. Stewart to the lead with Hornish's help. Can Hornish stay tucked behind him for one more lap? White flag in the air at Daytona. Regan Smith to the outside. Keselowski pushing him.
That's where that side draft comes into play. You can see Sam Hornish coming off the bumper of Stewart.
Up to the center. Bowman pushed by Kligerman. Somehow they got out of it and saved it. Hornish now back behind Stewart. Up to the outside, 2 is Brian Scott.
See, Tony Stewart just bulled his way through there to get an opportunity, and he's going to have it too.
Final corner at Daytona. Who's going to get here first? Regan Smith 7, Keselowski 22, Stewart 33, and contact! Smith turned around. Tony Stewart is going to win this race. And a terrible crash coming to the finish.
This is a big wreck.
Kyle Larson's car with the front end severely torn off. He's bailing out of the car. Part of that car did pierce the catch fencing shy of the start-finish line. You see some of the others involved.